guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be working on this area. I think I'm going to try to fit a flat ride in here of some sort. I was going to try to do a kiddie coaster or go-karts, but even the station takes up too much room in this area, and I didn't really have a lot of area and space to move and go with it. So I think we're going to do a flat ride of some sort. Try to make this a very welcoming space and a gathering space for people, a place where parents can hang out, watch their kids on the ride and whatnot. Over here I haven't quite got that far, probably more seating. I just don't want to block the view of the lake and the other side of the park, so I don't want to do anything too big. So we'll get there. We'll get to that when we get there. Over here is probably going to be some more food and drinks and souvenirs. And yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to get to building and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Alright guys, we're back. So I was able to fit a go-kart track in here. And I think the plan is the station will be the building. This will be a building 2. So the cube will go in the building, up the hill, outside. This small cube section out here, this small cube section in the shade out there. Come back in the building, down to ground level, and then they will enter. So then this will all be outside. I think I can work with this. So, I'll be back. Alright guys, we're back. So I've been doing a little bit of work here, got a little bit of the building done. I decided to go with this nice little just oval with a little hill for the go-karts. I think this is going to turn out pretty neat. I wanted this to look kind of like a garage, and then I kept it pretty open. We got the glass windows up here and over here, nice wide entries over here, good views through and through. I think that's pretty cool. I also just put in these little shops right here to get people coming, and I was able to squeeze this drop tower here that I think I'm going to end up doing a nice solid concrete foundation around here for this guy. That'll make a nice little cornerstone, because then looking from this angle, I think that's pretty good. Went ahead over here, we're gonna make these into little flower boxes, flower containers to hold the ground back, and then we got to have our fences to keep people from being killed. Alright, well I think that's gonna do it for this update, and I'll come back when I got some more done. What is up guys? Alright, so I did some thinking. I got some sleep last night, thought about what I built, came back to this morning and realized I've changed my mind a little bit. So I tore out what we had and I started over. I may have gone a little bit overboard, but here we go. So this building is inspired by a Frank Lloyd Wright building. This is a service station that he designed and was never actually built and opened in service. However, recently in 2014, the plans were purchased and this building was built in a museum in Buffalo, New York. So if you want to see it, you can go see it there. Otherwise, you'll have to come to my game to see it again. So here's what I got so far. I kind of lucked out with the way the building was shaped. I think this looks really cool. I got lights under here. Let's switch it to night to show real quick. I'm thinking about extending these arms a little bit so I have more light over here, or I may just put some light poles over here. I haven't got that far yet, but I do need a little more light over here. Now, where I got lucky was how this interacts with our coaster that we just built. I was able to give it just enough room for it to sneak by. So as you can see, I think there is enough room that I wouldn't be worried about anybody getting hit by the building anywhere through here, because even down here it's not low enough to hit anything. I figure out how it's going to make the cues go through. So they come in this way, go through the building, come through the glass here, come back out this side, down the stairs, around, then they go under the building and come out this door here. Alright, I'm going to get back to it, get some more landscaping, more details in, and I'll get back to you when I got some more done. Alright, I went a little crazy with landscaping. As you can see, I got all this done. This structure was inspired by another Frank Lloyd Wright. I don't know what it exactly was. I don't know if it's just a sidewalk cover or if it was a bus stop of some sort, but I'll throw a picture on the screen for you to look at so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And that will give you an idea of the inspiration for this building. I think it turned out pretty good. I definitely needed some cover for the queue because of the roller coaster coming through, and I think it did its job pretty well. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted it, but I think we're okay. And truthfully, like all this right here could be covered, but we'll take some iterations on that. I think this area is turning out phenomenal. Probably say it every time I build a new area, but it's quickly becoming my favorite. And honestly, I really like how this area is starting to blend in with the previous area over here. I have a little bit more work to do in this area to blend these better, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do over here. I think it's too small for a ride, but we'll see what I can do. So I'm going to keep working, and I think I'm going to work on this midway area next, try to get some of this cleaned up and see where that leads me. Alright, I'll catch up with you in a moment. Alright guys, as you can see, I got a little bit more landscaping done. Just keep working on it piece by piece, filling things in. Really happy with the way this area back here is turning out, daytime and nighttime. I think this area looks phenomenal. Lots of little things to look at, different angles. So I did end up extending these, and I put this little beam support down here because it obviously needed it, and I don't think it takes away from the structure too much. I think this area is coming along quite nicely. Got a bunch of these planters in, started doing a little bit of work over here. Got this filled in, and I'm not exactly sure what I want to do over here yet, how big of a building, because I want to be able to keep this view pretty unobstructed. So by the time you're here, like the house or the service station is going to draw your attention, and I think at night, but I think this area is coming along nicely. I added some lights over here. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but I really like the lights on the coaster as in the skyline, and I like how this house just kind of sits here and blends into the hill behind it. Alright, I'm going to keep working, and I'll catch up to you when I feel like this episode is going to come to a close. Alright guys, I have finished this section of the park. I am super stoked about the way that it turned out, so let me show you. I'm not quite done with it. I don't know what I want to do, but I like the way it is going so far. This tunnel or bridge part is part of the next building that I'm going to be working on in the next episode, but I wanted to get it in place to give me an idea of how things were going to look. I really like the way that this tunnel frames this area that we've been working on. So we got our go-kart building over here, our little shelter over the pathway, and I completely redid the concession stand building that was over here based off of another Frank Lloyd Wright building that I found. Alright, let's take a little closer look. I got plenty of plants and flowers. I try to keep the colors and the type of plants similar and the same throughout the area, just to keep it all looking cohesive. Got a nice little cover for people to sit and watch people on their go-karts. And I had to redo a little bit of the sidewalk when I redid this building, but I think I got everything looking good again. I really like the way that this building turned out too. I think it really adds and draws focus to the area that we're at. What I thought was interesting about that building was how this corner lines up with this ride, and I think it just fits perfectly in this space, and I'm really stoked the way that it turned out. Let me go to a night view real quick and we'll take a look at night. So I think that this area really starts to take shape from this side of the bridge. I'm gonna have to work on this bridge eventually. I'm not sure how I want to do it yet. I like the way that the coaster lines the skyline here. I like the blue and the orange. On the ride, I did all orange uplighting, and this ride is blue with orange uplighting. So I think it all really blends in really well. I still need to get some more lighting, overall path lighting in here. I want to get this area finished before, and all my buildings in place, so I know where I can place lights without just having to stick light poles like these guys, which those aren't too bad. But I think that the lighting on the go-kart track is well lit, the lighting for here is well lit, the lighting in this queue area is well lit. Now back over here to this building. I was gonna put some advertising signs up here, but I felt that it took away from the design of the building too much, and I decided to remove them and just use the lights. I was able to manage to sneak the bathrooms and a staff area back here. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button down below and the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next episode. If you have any comments, leave those down below too, and we will get back to you next episode where I have great plans and future buildings. Bye.